Malika, I called you to see if you had listened to Happier this week.
I did. I listened to it this morning. We're on the way to a parent-teacher conference. It's so funny. It's just like my heart starts pounding.
I don't know that I'll ever get used to hearing my name on
the radio.
On my favorite podcast, on the radio, through the speakers, and they're saying such lovely things. It's so heartwarming. I'm so excited and appreciative of them and that they are willing to shout us out. I love that.
Yes. Sending gratitude through the waves, through the airwaves, and it just also feels so fun.
It's definitely making me happier.
It's making me so much happier.
Hi, welcome to Happier Ladies, a podcast where we discuss all things related to the Happier and Happier in Hollywood podcasts.
We're sisters
and super fans
who can't get enough happier.
So we created our own podcast to keep the conversation going.
I'm Malika Amandi, a SoCal native living in Western Massachusetts, a new mom, and an entrepreneur. I'm here with my sister, Azizi Williams.
That's me. I live and work in the LA area. I'm a not-so-new mom, and I'm an education professional in the independent school world. Malika, I have a big question for you.
Yes?
Where were you when you heard the shout-out on Happier in Hollywood?
Oh my goodness. Okay, my heart is beating fast just thinking about it. So we got a very generous shout out on Happier in Hollywood from Liz and Sarah this week.
So
and
generous.
I was listening to the podcast on my way home from work, as I do on Thursdays, and I could not believe that I was hearing them talk about us. I probably should have pulled over. I didn't pull over.
Always pull over.
I finished listening to the segment and then I called you and kind of screamed in your ear.
Yes, you did. I was at work and you were so excited. We were both screaming and I just never expected, I never expected it to happen so quickly. And then when I got in the car, I decided I'm going to listen to it before I start my commute so that I can fully enjoy it, right? So since I knew now it was coming, and I have to say it was such a generous endorsement, and I'm so grateful to them for listening and for taking us seriously and for enjoying it and putting it out there.
So since that shout out, we've gotten 2 emails from listeners who we didn't previously know.
Wow. We have mail.
You know, we had a couple emails from our mother, which was lovely.
Shout out to Clara.
But it's fun to kind of be on the map now. And one of the listeners who reached out is named Wendy, and she actually lives in Western Massachusetts too, which is doubly exciting. And she alerted us to the fact that Gretchen included us in her 5 things that are making her happy newsletter on Friday. So that's also a huge shout out in the newsletter form. Thank you so much, Gretchen. We'll put a screenshot of that in our show notes so you can see exactly what she wrote.
Yes. Also, thank you to Gretchen. And it's all fantastic because we've been having these conversations ever since we started listening to Happier. I'm so delighted that people are listening to our discussion and enjoying it as much as we enjoy talking with each other about it. So thank you to everyone.
Thank you, Wendy, and our budding listener community. Very exciting. Azizi, what happened on Happier this week?
So on Happier, episode 455, Gretchen and Liz dedicated the entire episode to hearing about Liz's journey with type 1 diabetes. And I personally really appreciated the information. I appreciated their Liz's candor and their conversation. And I feel better equipped to offer support to someone who has type 1 diabetes. So that was a great discussion. And on More Happier, they discussed lucky dates like 11/11. That's one of mine. That was exciting to hear. Liz shared about the wrong shoe theory, which was fascinating. And they also discussed a listener's birthday plan to live her life like a character in a Hallmark movie. Now, this instantly reminded me of Aunt Charlene and her love of Hallmark movies. She's been watching Hallmark movies as long as they've been out. And I have to say, I have watched 1 or 2. They are delightful. And so This listener plans to live her life like a Hallmark movie in honor of her birthday month. She planned all kinds of specific activities related to the holidays and kind of the whimsical things that typically come up as themes in Hallmark movies. It sounds like a lot of fun, and it was also very inspiring. Maybe I'll plan something for my birthday month. It's in May.
Okay.
Not as many celebratory things happening in the world, but there's something to having a plan, sharing it widely, and having some fun moments. So maybe for my 24 list.
Yes, I was delighted by this listener's plan as well, especially that she said she was going to wear holiday, festive Christmas attire all month, even pajamas, which I just wish I could be there for it, you know? I have a friend, Joey, who she's one of the most creative people I know, and she dresses for the seasons. So all October long, she's wearing Halloween. All Christmas long, she's wearing holiday, like earrings, sweaters, everything. And it's just the commitment is so beautiful to see. Hats off to people who can do that and who can have the stuff and keep track of it and pull it out at the right time. And
okay,
but it's really like Miss Frizzle. It reminds me of Miss Frizzle, the Magic School Bus.
Yes.
And actually, Joey has a store called the Fabric School Bus. She's a maker of things. Anyway, it's on brand.
I've given my daughter some things from her shop.
Yes. Love sweater and the Fabric School Bus.
Those are fantastic. So, Malika, I have a confession to make. My husband has pulled me over into this festive t-shirt side because he's a wearer of t-shirts, and he purchases t-shirts for all the seasons and characters in his life that he loves. And so he's slowly pulling. So I made a purchase, and it's making me so happy. It is a t-shirt. It is a big picture of Mariah Carey in her Santa hat.
Oh,
and it says, "It's time." That's it. It says, "It's time." It's just Mariah Carey being the fabulous queen of Christmas and declaring that it's now time to, bring on the holidays. I just purchased it. I'll put a link in the show notes. I'm slowly maybe becoming someone who dresses for the seasons.
Big evolution.
Malika, what happened in Happier in Hollywood this week?
On episode 339, Liz and Sarah discuss creating agendas for social gatherings, a ring light hack for glasses, and how working in Hollywood after the writer's strike is like forging a path through chaos, which led them to a strategy for how to finish their novel. Azizi, listening to them talk about the chaos of Hollywood right now reminded me of the chaos you experienced as a school administrator at the beginning of the pandemic. It reminded me of you talking about how things kept changing and you had to keep coming up with a new plan and dealing with parents and teachers and kids. And I just have to say, deep down, you were one of the most solid people in a crisis.
Oh, that's so sweet.
There's nobody else I know that is so cool and calm and collected when things are in chaos. And I know you don't like this, but I feel like a part of you comes to life a little bit. Something gets activated in you in a leadership way, which is certainly not a skill that everybody has.
Oh, thank you so much, Malika. It's funny. I didn't realize of course I was talking about it, but I was like, oh, you noticed that time? It was so all consuming. And what helped was having a great team. I had so many great people that I was working with who were in it with me. And, we had to laugh. There were times when we had to laugh because it was so bananas what we were trying to do and consider doing. And the thing we kept saying over and over again, and the thing I kept saying is, we're building the ship as we sail it. We're building the ship as we sail it. No, we've never been here. Nobody knows. We don't know how this is going to work. We're making it all up. This is all made up. And somehow it sort of worked. So yeah, that was the most chaotic time. That's the model of chaos and trying to forge a path through. And one of the things that my colleague Emily and I, who worked really closely building the ship, one of the things we realized pretty early on was we can't make time Emily actually came to this
Mm.
recognition, because we always say, oh, well, make time for this and make time for that and make time for this. Oh, no, you can't make time. That's impossible. Only a magician can make time. You have to prioritize not to do something else, coming to that recognition helped us to think about balance and what people really needed space and time for during the chaos. So thank you for acknowledging that. It was rough.
Yeah, and you're on the other side now.
But definitely still using the skills of how to handle stressful world things, because that continues to be something we need to navigate.
Mm-hmm. Our next segment is Who Am I?, where we offer a question that will help you learn something about yourself. As we are approaching the holidays, I know that for many people, this is a season that is inherently fraught because there can be a lot of pressure to have a good time and a lot of expectations. And in the midst of that, it can be difficult to really pay attention to what you yourself want or need. So it can be hard to really pay attention to how you want to feel and what you need to take care of yourself. So this Who Am I question is relevant year round, but I think it's an especially timely question to ask yourself.
What is the question?
How many events can I attend in a day and still feel like my best self? So I think of an event as a planned social activity, not like errands, but outings or engagements. If there's one long engagement that's happening over many hours, that just counts as one engagement. But if there's multiple locations and different groups of people, then I think of those as separate events. So for me, the answer is 2.
It's a very definitive answer. It's 2. Okay.
This has been tested over years. All right. So 1 event, great. 2 events, solid. 3 events, I start to wane. Being my best self is a part of that question. Like, what's the limit before I'm not my best self anymore?
So what is your best self?
Azizi, how's your dinner game these days?
Well, Malika, I used to struggle with what to cook for dinner.
You're cooking now?
Okay. Actually, my husband used to struggle with what to make for dinner. I mean, meal planning, grocery lists, yuck. But then we found Prep Dish. It's a weekly meal planning service that tells you exactly what to cook. And now they've partnered with Instacart, so your grocery list becomes a ready-to-go online cart.
Oh, what's in your cart, Azizi?
All of the Prep Dish ingredients, plus I can add energy drinks, chili crisp, lipstick, whatever, and check out in just a few clicks. Shopping online is so fun. The meals are family-friendly, healthy, and super easy to prep. Dinner is easy to make, and now we look forward to new tasty meals.
Prep Dish is offering our listeners 2 weeks free. Just head to prepdish.com/happierladies to sign up. Again, that's prepdish.com/happierladies.
The #1 selling product of its kind with over 20 years of research and innovation. Botox Cosmetic, onabotulinum toxin A, is a prescription medicine used to temporarily make moderate to severe frown lines, crow's feet, and forehead lines look better in adults.
Effects of Botox Cosmetic may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness may be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Don't receive Botox Cosmetic if you have a skin infection. Side effects may include allergic reactions, injection site pain, headache, eyebrow and eyelid drooping, and eyelid swelling. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Tell your doctor about medical history, muscle or nerve conditions including ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects. For full safety information, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
See for yourself at BotoxCosmetic.com.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. Between two-factor authentication, strong passwords, and a VPN, you try to be in control of how your info is protected. But many other places also have it, and they might not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast for 40% off. Terms apply.
When I'm my best self, I want to be in a place, and I'm not fantasizing about being at home in my pajamas. I feel like I can fully engage with people and be generous with my attention. And I don't feel like I have to rush. It's not always possible to control this. Sometimes you just have to do multiple events on a day. But when it is within my control, it feels really good to honor my limits. I think I've known this maybe for 2
That's interesting
years.
before you had a kid, and since you've had a kid, it's not changed.
Nope, it hasn't changed. I think Indigo, my child, he could do many events in a day. He seems very high capacity for socializing. Often I'm planning events with my husband, Norm, who does not have the same number as me. So that's something to navigate. I feel like, Azizi, you also don't have the same number as me. How many events can you handle in a day?
So I think I can handle 3. What ends up happening sometimes is my challenge with time and space in general kind of gets the best of me. And I find that they just don't actually all fit in a day. I have a lot of ideas usually. Sometimes in my head, it all lines up, but I find that, actually, this is not physically possible with the number of hours in the day and, the location changes and all of that. But it's not because I'm not up for it. If I'm well rested, well fed, and, in a great mood, I could definitely do 3 events in a day. But I will say there's something else to consider. I find cumulatively in a week, or a weekend is more how I might look at that number, because there's some negative space that I need. There's space in my weekend where I need it to be empty. I tend to look at it more that way. Do I have a big block of time where I have some downtime versus just looking at the number of events that I have?
That's really interesting. Yeah, for me, the frame is a 24-hour frame. And for you, it's like the 48-hour weekend, what feels right. I think for you, thinking about a day with lots of events, it seems that you feel excited about it. But I'm talking about like in the morning before things have played out and you see where things go. But for me, looking ahead to a day with lots of events, I feel this sense of dread. And like, are we going to make it?
Yeah.
Is there going to be enough time? Am I going to get tired? And so I think I'm already thinking about the logistics or things running out or whatever. And that's what gives me anxiety. You're right. I mean, there's only so much you can do in a day anyway. But for me, kind of starting, knowing that things might run out, energy or resources, I feel really stressed out. So I think that's why I've come up with this question, so that I can say, preemptively before we commit to stuff, like, nope, that's not gonna, I don't want to do that, or I don't want to think about having 3 things to do.
And see, I have logistics blindness, so I'm not at all thinking about logistics. And I kind of just go, and then I'm surprised at the end when like, that actually couldn't work. I have to adjust or let something go. I don't think that's better. That's just, I know that's my tendency, is I don't tend to see logistics so much, and I just go. What a great question, Malika. This is really fascinating and something I'm going to think more about. Maybe I need to lean a little more into logistics and think ahead of time. Our next segment is Shortcut to Happy, where we share a simple strategy that will make you happier. I'm already thinking about Black Friday. Here's a confession. I'm an overbuyer. I'll talk about that a lot. So Black Friday gets me very excited. And in honor of Black Friday, I want to share a simple strategy with you. Buy yourself a gift. I came to this strategy a few years back when at Christmas, we were sitting around, we were opening gifts, we were at my parents' house, and my dad took a gift from under the tree and he opened it and he was so delighted by it. And when I asked him about it, it was like a super technical pair of headphones that he had ordered custom. And he shared that he had bought them for himself, and he wrapped them, put it under the tree, or I don't know if it was wrapped, but it was in a box and it was under the tree. And I thought, what a great idea. So it's not only that you're buying yourself a gift. Of course, we buy ourselves things all the time, but it's that you buy something for yourself specifically for the holidays, and that you wrap the gift, and that you put it under the tree or put it wherever the other gifts are going. And then you open it and you have that moment along with everyone else and all of your other gifts. Here's the thing that I realized that is so brilliant about it. is that only you know exactly what you want. Maybe because I was a single parent for a long time and I had to buy lots of gifts for people and for my kids, and I would dream about the things that I wanted, and I would hope that people would get me things that but really when it comes down to it, that's not anybody else's responsibility really, and you're going to be maybe disappointed, So if there's a thing that you really want and it's very specific, you should get it for yourself and you should wrap it up for yourself because you deserve it. So that's something I want to offer you.
This is so true. There is so much life advice
Right.
in that, Azizi, not just around gifts, but really anything. Nobody knows what you want more than you do. And you have permission to make yourself happy.
Yes, and that's okay. It's okay that no one else knows what you want. It's kind of impossible for
Right.
someone to be in your brain and know exactly what you want. So that's okay.
So true. I think it's a funny story because our dad is notoriously hard to shop
Yeah.
for. We've had many, many years of giving him presents that he's kind of like, oh, nice. Or you can tell that he doesn't like it. Sometimes he's more subtle about it, but just the thought of him unwrapping something and being so excited about what it is because he bought it for himself.
It's the most excited about a gift I think we've ever seen him. So Malika and I wanted to share with you a few places where we go for inspiration for gifts. These are places that we've turned to time and time again and that offer insight into a gift for a variety of people. The first place that I go is the New York Times and Wirecutter. Many of you maybe are familiar with this, but Wirecutter is a portion of the New York Times where they review products and they want to tell you what the absolute product is based on their research. And I love this. I love knowing what is the best thing out of this thing, backpack or towel, whatever it might be. I really appreciate their research and wisdom. And then I also like the Los Angeles Times guide. Los Angeles Times gives a guide. It gives lots of very local places and what's trending right now. And it's sort of laid out kind of like a comic strip. It's a lot of fun. What about you, Malika? Do you have places?
ChatGPT is a new resource for me. It's been fun to ask it for help in finding gifts. We actually tried this with our father. It was for a birthday gift. We were going to try to do a cameo for him. We were inspired from the Happier in Hollywood hack to buy a cameo for someone as a birthday gift. So we were trying to figure out the right person, and I ended up having a dialogue back and forth with ChatGPT, kind of giving them some information about my dad and the things he was into. I was really amazed at the celebrities it recommended for the cameo. It was so spot on. Some of them we had actually thought of ourselves. Unfortunately, they weren't available, but that's neither here nor there. It was just like having a very good listener, brainstorming partner. I think if you are just not sure where to start, that can be a great resource to describe the person that you're looking for a gift for, some of their traits, maybe some things that they like, and just see what suggestions come
AI
up.
has entered the conversation. That is fascinating. I love that. That's something I would have never thought of. Something else that I know you and I both do is watch YouTube videos. There are certain YouTubers that we follow and they're always recommending items. What's great about YouTube is that you can watch product reviews and you sort of see how the product actually works in real life. And that helps you understand how that can fit into your life or, someone who you're buying the gift for. So we'll link a few of our favorite YouTubers in the show notes.
I also like to look at magazines. Often around this time of the year, they'll have a gift list. And there's a handful of magazines that I enjoy. They have a very similar aesthetic. Real Simple magazine, Oprah's magazine, Martha Stewart Living, Magnolia,
Yes.
and The Pioneer Woman. That's a little bit of the outlier in terms of the style. But they all have these really kind of thoughtfully curated lists with pictures, and sometimes there's discounts in there. There's something tactile about turning the pages and experiencing ideas that way. And then I love to save the magazines and use them as wrapping paper. They kind of double as festive wrapping paper for whatever gifts you end up buying.
What a great idea, Malika. And I feel like we're dating ourselves a bit with magazines. I don't think the young people read magazines anymore.
Well, they're not our listeners, as we know.
You're right. That's not our audience. Our audience looks at magazines, and I look at magazines online through Zinio and my online subscription. Another place that I find magazines is at the thrift stores, and I've taken to now purchasing, back orders of seasonal magazines at the thrift store. So that's a little hack for anyone who worries about the price. Of course, we have to shout out the Happier universe. What a great place to get gift inspiration. Happier and Happier in Hollywood, they both have their annual gift lists that they put out. Those are coming up soon. Also, Gretchen has so much merch, and I think Happier in Hollywood has merch too. So calling back to Malika, your gift suggestion about getting merch from a podcast. Mm-hmm. So always buy a gift for yourself, wrap it up, put it where you put the other gifts, and open it when other people are opening their gifts. You will be delighted. Malika, what's on your list?
I did buy a gift for myself already. I bought a Hobonichi planner for next year and a cover for it on Etsy. I don't know if I have the discipline to wait until Christmas.
You have to. That is the most important part is now you put it aside and you wait and you look forward to it.
I don't want to. I want to use it now.
You can't use it. It's for the holidays. You can't use it now.
We'll see. What's on your list, Azizi?
I went to Dapper Day at Disneyland yesterday. And
what is Dapper Day?
Actually, it's an organization now, and they put on events where you dress up very fancy, usually like 50s or 60s wear. So you think about the 50s and 60s and the way people dressed up when they were going somewhere special. And you go to a place where they're having the event. They have it twice a year at Disneyland, and there's a whole convention. People dress up, they go into the park on a specific day all together, sort of dressed up the way that people would have dressed up when Disneyland first opened. So my husband and I, we got dressed up, we got all fancy, and we went to Dapper Day yesterday. And at the convention, there was a seller of makeup called It's Besame Makeup. And I have just coveted this makeup, not so much for the makeup, although it's great quality, but it's also just so beautiful. They have beautiful compacts. Their lipstick tubes are so beautiful. And it is retro. Their inspiration is 1940s and 50s also. So the vendor was there, and actually the owner was there, and I bought a compact and a couple of other things. She gave me some free gifts and a very special red bag, and I immediately put it in my gift closet. I will not enjoy it until Christmas. So buy yourself a gift. Do not open it.
Well, maybe I'll buy something else and wrap it up. I don't know if I can do the planner because I already opened the package.
Malika. All right. Then this does not count as a gift for yourself. It's just another thing you bought, which, is also fine.
We'll see. We'll see. Now it's time for peaks and valleys, because in life, there are always peaks and valleys. This is an odd episode, so I will start with a peak. My peak this week is the physical therapist that I've been seeing. Her name is Elizabeth. She is such a great cheerleader. As a true obliger, it really helps me to have somebody encouraging me in the moment. We had a session a couple days ago, and I was just laughing throughout. We're cracking jokes. She's asking questions about my life, and it could be a miserable thing, but she makes it really fun and is so encouraging that I feel really positive about going. And also, I want to have good news to share with her. So it's motivating me to do the exercises. She's just really skilled at her job, and I'm grateful to have somebody like her helping me right now.
I'm glad that relationship's going well.
Azizi, what's your valley?
So, okay. I don't like taking vitamins. I don't like swallowing pills, I should say, actually. And so I'm delighted that there are such a wide variety of gummy vitamins. And I have purchased so many different kinds of vitamins and supplements in gummy form. And you would think because it tastes like candy, I would take them every day. But somehow I still have days where I forget or I miss or I just can't seem to find the time. This is a valley for me because I need to have some consistency. I've already taken care of the obstacle of finding them in a form that I can take. And now I need to just take them. If it's going to have an impact on my quality of life, then I need to actually take the vitamins. So that's something I want to think about heading into this next week.
Okay. Well, I would love to workshop that with you. If you need a partner to think about the vitamins or when to take them or how to work them into your routine.
All right, let's talk.
We can talk. All right. That brings us to the end of this episode. Zizi, let's leave on a happier thought. What are you going to try this week?
I'm thinking about my birthday month and how I can make it a very special month. That's on my mind. Malika, what about you?
I guess I have to wrap a gift for myself.
Yes.
I'm going to give some thought to buying something that I actually do save for Christmas and put under the tree.
Sounds like it's going to be something else.
I think it's got to be something else because I'm already attached to the planner. Thank you for listening to this episode. If you like us, rate, review, and tell a friend.
Send us a message at happierladies@gmail.com and tell us something you liked about Happier and Happier in Hollywood this week.
Our theme music was created by Wyatt Muncie.
And we want to give a special shout out to Gretchen Rubin, Liz Kraft, and Sarah Fain for inspiring our conversation each week.
You can find us on Instagram at happierladies and on the web at happierladies.com. All right, Azizi, have a happier week.
Have a happier week, Malika.
Bye.
Bye.
Is that an okay description?
For what?
The segment? It seems like it's missing something.
Where we ask a question that helps you understand who you are. Okay, let's think about this.
This podcast is part of the Sound Advice FM network. Sound Advice FM, women's voices amplified.